everyone, and welcome back to the Disney Countdown Show. My name is Megan, the Magical Millennial, and I am joined today by my lovely co-host, the Dapper Danielle. How you doing over there, Danielle?
Hello, babe. How are you?
I'm good.
I don't know about you. Okay, so do you watch Bluey? Are you familiar with Bluey at all?
I am familiar with Bluey, and I'm so sad and ashamed to say that I have never watched Bluey.
Are you
But they're the
serious?
cutest things ever. I know. No, I'm ashamed. I am ashamed.
See,
Yeah.
so for me personally, like as I get more comfortable with people, like my nickname for everyone, it doesn't matter who it is, it's Babe, right? And I will call everybody Babe. But one of my
Love that.
friends who is also very familiar with Bluey has now got it stuck in her head that she thinks of Bingo, who is the little sister in the
Mm-hmm.
show Bluey. When Bluey and Bingo play pretend, one usually will pretend to be like the husband, and it's usually Bingo, the little one, and
Uh-huh.
she'll put on like a fake mustache and like a hat, and that's how she will respond. Is how she thinks all men sound like is "That's great, babe. You're great, babe." So that's what I keep thinking of now. Whenever I call
When you
somebody
say
babe,
babe.
I'm just like, "That's great, babe."
That's so funny. I love that. And I
Yes.
love the little accent too.
Oh, I know, right? So just so funny, so funny. But that's what
That's
something that's been stuck
amazing.
in my head here recently is
Oh
just
my
going up
gosh.
to people like my friends and just being like, "That's great, babe."
I think it's so endearing though. I love that. I'm trying to think of what I do. I call people babe? Sometimes. I don't know if I do it as much as you, but I think that's so
I
cute.
don't know. I just became a habit. I think I started it when I was a fairy godmother at the Bippity Boppity boutiques, and
Oh,
because that's
yeah.
that the fairies would call each other like, um, oh, what is it? We had one lady who was older, and she would go up to them and be like, beauty lady, beautiful lady. That was her nickname of
Oh.
endearment to everybody. And I think I just picked up on Babe, is what I called everybody. So, yes, good times.
Cute, cute. I love it. I love it. Well, welcome everyone to the show. We have a very fun episode for you today. And if you are new
Yes.
here or you have yet to do so, please follow us at Disney Countdown Show on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. We are also
Mm-hmm.
Pod Disney on Twitter / the X, and we post some pretty fun content with our podcast stuff up there. Or you can also watch our full episodes on YouTube, youtube.com/countdown
Mm-hmm.
network. And then, of course, you can watch our personal stuff because we post quite a bit over
We
there,
do.
the Magical Millennial on all of the channels. And of course, the Dapper Danielle. I do have an underscore at the end of my name, but I'm working on it, y'all. That's going to be gone in like the next couple
Is that
months. I'm going to
really?
trademark and it'll be gone. Yeah.
Huh.
We're
Should
going
I
to do it.
trademark the Dapper Danielle?
Do it. It's
Oh.
yeah, I know. I've been thinking about it for so long. I need my underscore to be gone. But anyways.
Oh, wow. See, these are the weird things that we think about in the middle
I
of the
know.
episode that you probably don't care about, but we're going to tell you anyway.
I've become so much more determined because I look at my username and I'm like, dang, I wish I didn't have that anymore. So just
Oh.
wait, y'all. It's gonna happen soon.
Okay. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
We'll be able to announce it proudly here on the podcast. Now, also,
Yes.
if you all are new here, also, we do have quite a few new people that are joining our Patreon page, but I'll get to that in a second. We do have
Yay!
some reviews that we should talk
Yay!
about. So yes, again, if you are new here, make sure you are rating and reviewing over on Apple. You can write out a little review to us, and we like to read them over here on the podcast. Or if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you go ahead and click those little stars and rate us there. We appreciate that also. Also, if you are on Spotify, you can also DM us your reviews. You can DM us
Yes.
on Instagram, through our email, all that good stuff. We also have fan mail too. You can send us that through the Disney Countdown at gmail.com. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
best way to be able to get that to us also. So we do
Yes.
have this review right here. Megan, is this one directed towards you? Maybe?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's for both of us, but it does
Okay.
say the title is Disnerd here, which love
Oh.
that. We are a couple of Disnerds ourselves. And it's from Bridget322. She gives us 5 stars and says, I absolutely love your podcast. I've never been a podcast person, but I've tried to listen to a couple Disney ones. Yours is my absolute favorite. I'm a restaurant manager, so your podcast keeps me company in the early mornings I get here to open or the nights I'm stuck late by myself and for my drive home. I have to join the Patreon this week because I'm a little sad my top 2 Disney movies, Sleeping Beauty and Aladdin, didn't make either of your top 10s. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Bridget. So I got to see if they make at least in the top 15. Can't wait to listen to the rest of the season. Oh, Bridget, I don't even think they made my top 15.
Did they make our top 15? I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
We're so sorry, Bridget. We're sorry.
That's really, I feel bad. I do feel bad. Yeah, no, Aladdin. Why was it not in my top 15? I guess there's just more from like the 90s that I was way more into back in the day.
No, I did.
And yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at my list. I thought Aladdin made mine. Maybe not.
Was Aladdin in yours? Okay. It definitely could have been. Wow. I'm so sorry, Bridget.
See, but that's why we
those
have
are her
these
top 2.
conversations. We got to talk about these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that we're also the ones that like, because she said that she's a restaurant manager, right? So she just has us playing in the background as she's like setting up or tearing down for the night. I love that because that means it's an empty bar and she's just playing us just so that way there's no creepy noises being heard in the restaurant. So Bridget, if you're listening, it is not the ghosties. It is us that go, ooh, in the middle of the bar.
That's great. But thank you so much for listening. And God, we even got a non-podcast person to listen. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Honored.
That is awesome. Very honored. Thank you, Bridget. And we have also actually had some amazing fan interactions recently at the parks, people messaging us and coming fresh off of our little guest spot on the Extra Magic Hour on Disney Hits on SiriusXM. We had a lot of people either taking pictures of their radios in their car and sending it to us with like our names on the Disney Hits station.
I really hope they were stopped at a stoplight though. That is so unsafe.
I know. Don't text and drive. Don't use your phone and drive. But thank you guys so much. We had a blast recording that segment and also just listing off of our top 5 love songs for the Extra Magic Hour for Valentine's Day. So it was so much fun. I have listened to it twice now. And of course, they play the greatest songs on Disney Hits. But that was just a great time for us. So thank you for listening and also messaging us the time that you listen.
I'm thinking messages from old coworkers. I have not, now mind you, I have not seen these people in like 7+ years, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I got one from Michelle, who I used to be a fairy godmother with. And she said, OMG, I was nearly late to work yesterday because you were on the radio. And I heard you as I was about to get out the car and I said, wait, that's Danielle. And so she sat in her car and was almost late to work because she was listening to us.
Oh,
so don't do that. But we're happy that you was tuned in and you listened. That was so cool.
Yes, that's definitely. Disney Hits is a great station and we love working with them. So that was really fun. And maybe you'll see us on there in the future.
Yes,
you know?
Yes. And I love how our podcast family is growing and it's being heard also by cast members. So I even got stopped over in, what was it? Creations, which is the giant gift shop over in Epcot. And I was at the jewelry counter. I was talking with some cast members and this cast member comes up and I am so sorry. I cannot remember your name for the life of me, but you were adorable blonde girl with glasses and I loved your glasses. Aww. But I'm so bad with names. But she was
me too.
She was delightful and she comes up and she's like, I just have to tell you, I love the podcast. And I was like, really? And she's like, I've been binging the whole last like 2-3 seasons. And
oh wow,
I love it so much. I was like, thank you. I'm just
that's
honored
really
that
cool.
that the cast members are listening in too. I think that's fantastic. And a lot of them are listening in and they're even getting some obscure Disney news or Disney history from us. And they like also creating their own list too and comparing it to ours.
That's amazing. That's what I love most about it, because I know we have different personal preferences. I love hearing other people's lists and comparing, seeing if they agree with. Because I think I have some pretty obtuse and out there choices for at least the top of my list. So I like hearing other people's opinions on it. That is so awesome. And of course, we love our cast members. So thank you all for tuning in. And I was just yesterday, I was over at the Pixar Pier Games over by, I guess, Toy Story Midway Mania. And I ran into one of our Patreons who actually, she won one of our little giveaways that we had at our virtual hang a couple months ago. And she was so sweet. And I was like, oh my, I freaked out. I was so excited. I was like, yay, it's so nice to finally meet you in person. So that was really cool. I believe it was Stephanie who won the Mickey calendar at our December virtual hang for Christmas.
Nice.
Yes. So that was so cool. And it was so lovely to meet you and finally see you. And I think this was also after. So I played La Luna over at Pixar Pier. Because I saw that
because you want the stars.
Yes, you want the stars, and it's so cute. But they had the little Disney keys, which I'm a big fan of. They had them for the small prizes, so I was like, "Oh, cool! I can win another key." Yeah. They have little Disney keys that sometimes they have on Shop Disney. They had an up version and a Grogu version, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I want the up one. That looks so cute. It's got little balloons on it." And I went in and I played, and I won a large prize. There's literally only 3 of those in all of the stars that they. I've never won a large prize in my life. You have to be so lucky. She turned it over and it's red, and I'm like, excuse me? I wanted the key.
Like, can I exchange this for like 3 small prizes?
Right? I mean, I just played again and I got a small the next time, but I was like, of course, the time where I actually want the small prize, I get a large prize.
I love that. That's hilarious.
It was a good time. It was a good time. And then
what is the large prize for that game? Because it's the boy. Plushies.
Yes, it's the boy. He's holding a star. It's like so cute. Yeah, he's like, oh, I wish I had him right next to me. He's like this big.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
so he's a decent sized plush.
It's a decent sized plush, and he's holding a little star. So it's cute. But I just thought that was hilarious. I was cracking up. Got a little magical moment over in DCA. But speaking of our Patreons, we would love to welcome our new members. We have Marianella, Mickey, and Emily. Thank you so much for joining the Disney Countdown Show Patreon fam. And I love seeing you guys. We recently had a virtual hang, which was so much fun. And of course, we have some more Patreon stuff coming up very soon. But if you want to join our magical family, you can click the link in our episode notes, or of course, just go straight to patreon.com and search Disney Countdown. I loved our last virtual hang. I don't know about you, Danielle, but I had a really good time.
It was pretty chill. It was actually pretty chill. And I liked how we did the setup of it this time, where we did Q&A in the beginning.
Yes.
And we were able to get some questions and some hot topics out of the way first before we did it. Like, we used to do it at the end. And again, y'all, I can go on rants, and it took up way too much time. So it did force me to like focus in a little bit, but they were really good questions. It was really good.
Danielle honed it in. Yeah. Sometimes you guys have really good questions. Like, I'm gonna shout out to Jason on our virtual hangs. He's got these like really like deep cut questions that make us really think. And I love that. So things that I would never really think about, but it has you rack the brain a little more. So I love it.
Oh yes. And what else was happening here recently? Oh, on the Patreon, we also have a Discord server, and then we have our own private Facebook page, so you can join that also. And I'm gonna go ahead and should I hint this in, Megan, of what we're planning on for the Patreon?
Do it. Yes, we got some.
Y'all, so we are. Extra. There's so many of you, and you guys have been sending us messages, and you've been asking for other things of like, hey, you guys should do this. You guys could do this. We are going to be adding more tiers to our Patreon. So your basic Patreon tier that you are on currently, it is still going to get you access to everything that you currently have for the most part. But we're going to add even more because we want to do more. We want to interact with you guys more. So we're adding more tiers in to give you guys some more options and some more cool stuff. So we'll talk about it a little bit later. We're still ironing out some details, but just kind of give you a preview of what's coming.
Some fun, more magical content coming your way. Content and just bonuses, extras, a lot more stuff that we want to give to you. So
It's true.
fun news coming up. Yeah.
Some fun. Oh, speaking of news,
Uh-huh.
Megan. Well, we
Yeah.
won't get to the news just yet, but I want you to tell us about your time at Disneyland and how you were there witnessing all the people being upset that Tay Tay was not in the park.
Yes, yes. So that did happen. Of course, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl for the second year in a row. So one person, and it was obviously Patrick Mahomes, came over to Disneyland with his family, and they did the little cavalcade, which, is super cute. I was able to see that for the first time. It was him with Mickey and Minnie on top of a float and a bunch of characters in front of them with some amazing performing cast members. And very cute. It was cool to see him there. I was like right there just kind of waving and saying hi. Josh Giamara was there too. That was kind of cool.
See,
And
that's
always
where
love seeing
everybody else
Josh.
is like, oh, this is our one chance to see Tay Tay, and then the Disney people are just like, no,
we love
like all
Josh.
the other Disney execs will be there, and this is our chance to see them.
Exactly. No, there were so many people taking pictures with Josh right before the parade started. But yeah, it was crazy. So a lot of people were there obviously to see Patrick Mahomes. There were some Chiefs fans. I saw a lot of Niners jerseys too, and I was like, are y'all just trying to like stick it to him or something? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. A lot of Niners jerseys. I saw some Dolphins jerseys too. It was a very football day over at the parks. But also a lot of Swifties with a lot of Taylor merch on. So I had a feeling there are some people that were like, yeah, I think Taylor might be there. Travis, because Travis is on the team. He's like the second biggest guy, obviously, right now on the Chiefs. But I had heard from many people and through the grapevine that Travis does not do these things. He doesn't go to the parade. It's Patrick every single year. It was just him last year too. And so obviously Taylor wouldn't go. And y'all, Taylor, okay. So there's celebrities that go to the parks. The Kardashians go to the parks quite often.
Oh yeah.
And they can get around okay, but they're pretty big names. Taylor Swift at Disneyland, I don't think they could handle it with the amount of fame that she has.
Yeah.
Even backstage, I don't think it would be manageable.
She would have an easier time getting in and out of Walt Disney World, but not Disneyland.
Because of the underground thing, the
utilidors.
system they have over there. Yeah, we don't have the utilidors. Yeah, we have sort of different hallways, I think, underground, but nothing like Worlds.
Right.
So it would just be too much. But there were a lot of people who were like either hearing rumors or very hopeful, and I was just sitting there like, I don't think it's physically possible, y'all. I think she's going to Australia. She has a tour to like resume. So I'm pretty sure her and Travis were on their way to Australia. But anyway, there were a lot of people there. Had a good time. We saw a little bit of Patrick doing his interviews afterwards with like the OC Register, KTLA, which was cool because they were on mic so you could hear them. And so that was kind of fun to hear his answers. Yeah. And he did a little bit of social media with them. So that, it was fun to see. I was actually rooting for the Niners on Super Bowl Sunday just because it's a California team. The Chiefs have won so many times already. I was like kind of rooting for the underdog. And my sister's a huge Niners fan.
I was going back and forth between the two teams.
Yeah.
Like the rest of my family was rooting for the 49ers, and I was like, oh, but we have friends that live over in Kansas City.
KC. Yeah.
And like the twin sauce, Luke and Paul, like love
them.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, and they're rooting for Kansas City. I'm like, well, maybe we can root a little bit for Kansas City. And yeah, it was ridiculous, but it was just an interesting game to watch.
Very interesting. I love the commercials. That's normally what I watch for. I thought the halftime show was great. The Disney commercial, yes. And Deadpool. Oh my gosh, Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool. Yes. So
obsessed.
Funny.
I had chills. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I am not. Megan, would you consider yourself a Swiftie?
No.
Okay.
I like her. I listen to her songs. I'm not like, I didn't go to the Eras tour. Like, I'm not hardcore or anything. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I had to look up what it meant at the end of the Disney commercial where it's like, are you ready for it? I was like, that's not a Disney quote. What are they saying? So I had to look up what the reference was, and of course I think I actually mentioned it in the last episode of like, oh yeah, the Taylor Swift, or no, you mentioned it, that the Taylor Swift tour was going to be coming to Disney Plus. Disney Plus. It's going to be on there. I completely forgot about that, and my mom even looks at me and she's like, Danielle, what is what are they talking about? To go to infinity and beyond and just be like, are you ready for it? What character says that? And I was like, I don't know. And so I had to look it up, and sure enough, I was like, the Swifties were on top of it, and they were
Yes.
like,
Not only
yeah.
were they on top of it, but that quote is from a song on Reputation, which has yet to come out as Taylor's version, which is a big thing right now. It's like, when is she going to release Taylor's version of Reputation? Because she's obviously been putting out 1989 was the last one. So yeah, it's so having that quote on that commercial was like, it sent off a storm, like on TikTok. Like, what does this mean? Is it coming out soon? What does Disney know that we don't? That kind of thing. So
like, no. This was just a Swiftie made this also, guys. That's all it was.
yeah, or that's just probably the most. Well, no, she has quite a few other like very quotable lyrics. So
But
I
it
don't
made
know.
sense, as it's like, are you ready for it for the show to
For
be
that,
on Disney
yeah.
Plus?
In context, exactly. Yes. No, you're right. So, anyways, yes, the commercials were great. Very much enjoyed the trailers that dropped, like from Wicked and Deadpool. It's so exciting to see. The Planet of the Apes one was a surprise. I like didn't even know that was like in the making.
My dad was so upset about Twisters.
Twisters.
He's like, no, my 80s version of Twister is just fine. We don't need
an
Twisters.
update.
We don't need this. And I was
There's
just
no
like,
need for a
yeah,
reboot.
Dad, welcome to the club of everybody. Oh, somebody compared it to, what is it? All of the sequel movies that are coming out in theaters, like Toy Story 5, in the 90s and early 2000s, they would have gone straight to home video.
Like Mulan, Tarzan, all those. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So I think that's starting an interesting conversation. I was like, welcome to the Disney nerd struggle bus, Dad. Like, this is something I talk about and complain about all the time. And he's just like, I get it. And I was like, okay.
They got to keep making money somehow. So
yeah,
this is a way to do it. I mean, Deadpool's going to crush it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna crush it. I'm actually excited for it. I'm not even that big of a Deadpool guy, or whatever I am. But Megan, we have some Disney news that we need to talk about, because actually, right before we started talking about this, we got some information coming to Walt Disney World.
Yes, speaking of what's coming up, yes. Oh my gosh.
We interrupt our program to bring you this
Disney news.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Disney Parks Instagram social media pages have officially announced that Tiana's Bayou Adventure here at Walt Disney World will be opening up this summer. It is no longer just a vague 2024. We now have a specific season, which is great. That's actually very exciting.
So exciting. I honestly thought it was going to be fall. I am so excited that it's summer for you guys. It probably will be fall or winter for us over here, but at least for Magic Kingdom, oh my gosh, very, very awesome, exciting news.
Oh yeah, for sure. And now summer for us, that would be June. It could open as early as June.
It totally could, which would make it a year and a half that it's been under construction. So yeah, could be. Yeah.
We also saw moving video and picture of the animatronics. We kind of talked about this in one of the previous episodes, talking about how this will not be a screen face like what it was for the Frozen Adventure ride. It's going to be a fully articulated face, is what I'm calling it. And
it's a full moving face. Yeah, she does look really good.
Yes.
Oh, it's so exciting. Oh my gosh. I so appreciate that they are putting these advanced animatronics in the ride, similar to what they have over in Tokyo and the Asia park. So, it looks really good. I'm very excited. Again, I have coming from a blank slate. I know that we talked in our previous episode that insider information said the word was disappointed when they saw the preview for it, but I'm going from a blank slate. I hope that it's still going to be a very fun attraction and the storyline's going to make sense, a little bit of sense. So I have high hopes because Tiana does look great as the animatronic. Yes, that's our theme.
Yeah, I'm sure you've also seen the news of us testing out beignets, as I'm using air quotes so y'all can see. Beignets
I saw it. Yeah.
Over here at Walt Disney World.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're
Have you tried
beignets.
that? Oh, okay.
I'm looking at them like, what are these tiny little things? And somebody said that they were more like cronuts.
Oh, which are, I like cronuts. They're good, but
Right?
you can't call them beignets then.
Right.
And
And
they're
that's where they're just
small.
like, right. And so, and the way they're presenting them is that they're not coming in a bag like the Disneyland versions. They're coming in like
Mm,
one of those little brown craft
the trays.
paper trays,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're
Uh-huh.
overloading them with sugar, which is
Hmm.
fine, but also there's no way to like get it coated evenly. It gets everywhere.
Hmm.
Um, and they're not truly beignets like what you can get over at Disneyland or even at Port Orleans French Quarter. They're
Yeah.
they're tiny little things. They're basically cronuts is kind of what they look like. I need to go over and try it myself. Somebody was like, they're not bad. They're actually like pretty good. They're just not beignets. Uh yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. I've seen the pictures of them. I was kind of confused on why they were in trays because obviously the reason we have bags over here is so you can evenly distribute the powdered sugar. You just close it, shake it
Right.
up, and that's how it works. They look at first glance like miniature beignets. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. They finally have something that is in the parks over there.
Right.
But so to hear that, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not opposed to cronuts, but if they're not beignets, can't really call them beignets. But I don't know.
Right.
I haven't tried them yet,
I
so
don't, I don't know. I will have to go try them myself and let y'all know for sure my opinions on this whole subject. Because, like,
I
Tiana's my girl. If I do not get
yeah.
my man catching beignets, I will scream.
I would love to hear your review because
And you know, if you're going to have that much powdered sugar on you, also, you really need to maybe we'll add this into our episode as we count down tips and tricks is go eat your beignets first before you get in line. So that way, if you're messy, you'll get soaked and it'll all wash off.
true. Yep.
Hey, this is thoughts, food for thoughts, literally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That's a good idea, Danielle. I like it.
Well, other news that's happening here very soon is that Festival of the Arts here at Disney World will be ending. It doesn't end by the time on the day that this episode releases.
Is it wait, when's the last day? The 18th?
The 19th.
Then yes, it is today. It is
Yes.
done. Uh-huh.
It is
Yep.
done. It is the last
Mhm.
day of the Festival of the Arts here at Walt Disney World, which is so sad. I hate that this festival doesn't go longer.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be running around during the time of this before this episode releases, and I will be going and buying my last few pieces before they disappear or try to find my artists before I don't see them again until next year. And but we only have a short, very, very short downtime before Epcot Flower and Garden Festival starts. And that's going to be on February 28th. And it will last through May 27th. And they have already started installing all the topiaries.
Oh, my favorite. I love the
They're
topiaries.
so cute.
Mm-hmm.
They're so cute. I think this year, the troll that they always have over in Norway, if you did not know, they love their trolls over there in the Norway pavilion.
Yes.
Throw a flashback to the Maelstrom ride that was there before Frozen took over, but they still have reference of the trolls in there, and they have a giant topiary of him. I think he has a flower crown this year.
Does
I was
he?
walking by and I was just like, oh, he looks kind of funny this year. He looks kind of cute. So I had to go compare pictures to last year. But the teams, the horticulture teams, always do such an amazing job with decorating these topiaries and making them beautiful for the holiday season. And I don't think people realize that when like the social media influencers take pictures of all the flowers, me and my little old lady self going in and taking pictures of all the flowers, in the beginning of the season, they will change after like a month, 2 months, because it starts getting hotter and they have to switch out the flowers for something that can withstand like the summer, closer to summertime heat.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Makes sense though. Absolutely. Huh. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Very
You've never
interesting.
been to our Flower and Garden Festival, have you, Megan?
I have. I have been.
Oh, you have?
I have. One time. How long does Flower and Garden go? I'm sorry, like
Till May
totally
now.
till May. Okay. I feel like I did go in 2021, right before our Disneyland reopened back up from the Panini. And then I feel like I went one more time. I might have gone in 2022 at the tail end of it for the Cosmic Rewind preview, unless it was done and then I missed it. I cannot remember though. I think it was still there.
I think it was. It was on the
It was the
tail
second
end.
weekend of May. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So like right before it ended.
Yes, I do love Flower and Garden. Festival of the Arts, I think, is still my favorite that I've been to, but I love Flower and Garden. Had some good food from the booth there.
You hadn't been to our Food and Wine. That's what we talked
That's
about
correct.
in the last episode.
Yes. Or Festival Holidays. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe this year. We're trying to go. We're trying to be there, Danielle, for Wine and Dine. We got our challenge race for Halloween this year.
You?
Oh yeah, we're doing the Halloween challenge at Disneyland. Got him this morning. I almost nearly had a heart attack because like we were in the virtual queue, and I was in front of my friend Jackie. I had I had 10 minutes on her, so I was going to get in 10 minutes before her. And so, but it kept updating right at the bottom of the screen. It was like, okay, the 5K sold out. Oh no, the 10K sold out. And I was like, no, I have 5 minutes. Please don't let the challenge sell out. So I was panicking, but we managed to get the challenge at the very last second. Cause then she got in and it was sold out. So I was one of the last ones. Very lucky. Yeah. And now with the race, of course, all the races are sold out, but for those of you who are listening to this and did not get the race that you wanted, please keep checking the Run Disney website, because for the half marathon that just happened in January, they reopened it multiple times for registration, just randomly. So either get on their email list or keep checking the website, because they do open it intermittently before the race. So keep checking, because I heard that some people
secure it and then they have to suddenly cancel either due to family emergencies or like they physically cannot do it.
Right. Or they just have that set amount at first, and then they realize that they have, I don't know, maybe more medals or more space or something. So they open it up again for a little bit. Right. It's a really short time, because once people see that it's open, then it just like, obviously they get in there and
you sneeze and
buy
it
a bunch.
disappears.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I heard that people who signed up for the half in January were able to upgrade to the challenge at some points because it opened back up. Yeah. Which I was like, are you kidding me? Because that's what we wanted. But so anyways, if you want to run,
congratulations,
keep checking.
Though,
Thank you. So we're going to do coast to coast. We're waiting for that Wine and Dine registration to open.
Okay.
So we'll see you over there in November. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, babe. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, I think it's time we go ahead and jump into a game. We don't have a lot of news to cover right now, because we covered a lot in the last episode. So I think it's time we jump into a game.
Let's do it.
Yes, we're here. Let's play a game. So happy to be here with both of you. Let's play some 1-star review, right? We haven't done that recently.
Oh, I'm terrible at this, but let's do it.
Yes. The beginning of last season, another one coming out of the woodwork. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. We're doing some fun ones. I'm trying to not repeat them as much as I can, because it keeps them interesting for me. It gives me something fun to do in my spare time. I say spare time like I have spare time.
I imagine this is a little bit more of a fun one to prepare, just reading all of these. I think
there's lots of trolls out there in the world. So,
okay. Yeah.
They all need a place to vent, and I guess this is how you do it. But anyway, we're playing 1-star review. If you don't know how this game works, I scoured the internet looking for 1-star reviews for different things. This is going to be a Disney Parks edition, specifically rides and stuff. I don't think I have any shows. Let me take a gander. No shows, just rides. And yeah, I'll read the 1-star reviews, and you can see if you can guess what the attraction is. And as always, I won't be correcting any of the mistakes in these, because if you're going to be putting negativity out in the world, make sure your grammar and punctuation is on point.
Got it.
Here we go. Here's the first one. These are bi-coastal as well, so there's a little bit of both.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Here's the first one. Every ride in Disney has a good moving along waiting line. Oh, man. I forgot how horrible this one is. Every ride in Disney has a good moving along waiting line. This might be the worst and overrated ride. Worst and overrated are both capitalized. Yes, the ride is fun, but not worth the wait. Would not recommend this ride. 4 exclamation points. Next one. Don't believe the hype. Seats were very small and narrow. The ride itself had many very slow parts, only to speed up for very brief turns. So disappointed. Hopefully the train ride they're building will be a good addition. It looks big. And the final one, it's a kid's roller coaster with a 2-hour wait line. I wish Thar Disney was more clear about how each ride actually is. This one is a real trap. Big Thunder Railroad, better train ride with a shorter line. This is a huge waste of time. So what do you think? You can both go for sure.
Oh,
Go ahead,
it's
Danielle.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, hands down.
You think so?
It
Yes.
sounds like it, yeah.
The answer to that is correct. It is Seven
As
Dwarfs.
soon as the second one said seats are too tiny, let me tell you.
Oh, you.
The seats. So picture. Well, there's two examples of this, right? You got my brother, who is like 6'4", big old beast of a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And him getting into this ride, it's like trying to fit in a little tiny clown car, and the seats are so small, and it bruises the side of his legs after he gets out of it because it's so tight with the handlebar coming down. Same for me too. When you're extra blessed in the hips, it is a very tight squeeze.
Absolutely. They're small. Yeah.
Yes.
Or if you're super tall,
because you go in that the dark ride area, and then you come back out and you do like one or two little twists and turns, and it is a short ride. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a small ride after all.
It is a small ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moving on, here's the next one. I didn't like it. The quote-unquote science thematic is not what I like at all. And it was a bit strange. It is not part of the Disney wonders, in my opinion. Next
so
one.
vague.
Yeah. It is a ride that gives you a very great feeling of confinement and dizziness. Honestly, it's not good. I couldn't wait for it to end.
Oh, is it?
Well, there's one more, and one more.
Okay,
This
sorry.
last one is definitely going to give it away.
Okay.
This ride is the biggest letdown in all of Disney. They built this really awesome giant golf ball and then placed the lamest ride at Disney inside it. You slowly move upward through human history as the computers ask you way too many questions about yourself. You will most likely get stuck along the way. The animatronics are now actually a part of history, as they are so old and outdated. 1 star because they have air conditioning.
That would be Spaceship Earth.
And that is correct.
First of all, how dare you insult Spaceship Earth, the icon, the mother?
She is
of that
iconic.
park. And no, it even has who is it? Jane Duty. I can't even say her name right because I'm so angry
Dame
about
Judi
this.
Dench. Yes.
Yes, she's the voice of Spaceship Earth as you're going through this series of time, and you're learning about the Phoenicians, and you're wrong. Oh gosh,
Iconic.
no.
It's an iconic ride, and that became very clear to me the last time we went on it. I was like, oh, this ride's actually really cool. I like it.
Yes.
Again, we're like, they fit this whole thing in the big ball. Like, that's crazy. I didn't know how big it was. So
And
I think it's cool.
What I think is funnier is that the questions that they're asking in the ride, right? That was not in the original version at all.
Yeah,
That was
that's
part
new.
of one of the updates.
Yeah.
And as you're descending, it's distracting you for how long it takes to get backwards.
Yes. You are literally going down at a very pretty vertical like angle.
Right.
And it does take a while to get back to home base down there. So that's why it's there. And I actually love the questions. I think it's hilarious. Like,
oh yeah.
because we
To
all
see
get different questions.
To see
Your
your face photoshopped out in the weirdest way, and if your glasses are too reflective, it'll actually cut out your eyeballs. It's amazing.
People just don't get it, Danielle. That's
They
okay.
don't. That's because they don't listen to us on the podcast, Megan. They don't understand.
Yes. You'll understand it better if you listen to Disney Countdown Show.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Moving on. Here we go. I personally didn't like it. I'm not a roller coaster kind of guy, but somehow, some way, I rode this ride, and it honestly feels like getting into a car accident on purpose. My neck's sore, and it gave me a headache the rest of the day, or maybe I'm just getting old. Next one. I regretted taking my kid to ride this. It's too scary and is not fun at all. I am very afraid if there could be any potential long-term health issues.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
It's
Too
it's a recent review,
oversaturation.
not from the 80s too.
And finally, we visited Disney's California Adventure Park for the first time on 6/8/23. We unanimously decided not to go on this ride. I do not go on roller coasters because I have stomach issues, hate drops, have no desire to flip upside down, get dizzy very easily, and my health issues flare up with stress. Given the age of me and my husband, our neck and back issues, etc., there was no way we were going to go on this ride. Overall, this ride is better suited for healthy older kids, teens, and young adults. It is not for an all-family friendly ride. That was 1 star. So like they didn't even ride the ride.
So you didn't
So you
even
didn't
ride
even
the ride.
go on Incredicoaster. Then like, how could you
Is it
not?
Incredicoaster?
I mean, it's the only thing that goes upside down.
It is incredible.
Yeah. You're not even going to go on Incredicoaster, and yet you're going to write a 1-star review on Incredicoaster. I'm sorry.
About
you don't need to explain your health issues on the internet.
Every single one of them.
Okay. We're
That's
you know
ridiculous. What? Because
you take those with less than a grain of salt.
And
I'm sorry.
I chose to take my child on this attraction, and now I'm worried about their health issues. If that was ever a concern, they have warning labels right there before you get in the line. If you experience any of these symptoms, or you're pregnant, may become pregnant, or anything like that.
There's also no hiding what this ride is. You can see the entire attraction from right in front of it. Like it's
not inside
the
building, like Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. You can see the entire
right.
track.
You see exactly. You see the launch. You see the loop. It's like everything. The drop. That's hilarious. Okay.
Canceled.
So let's do one more. How about that?
Yes, sounds good.
Maybe we caught this on a bad day, but we failed to see the purpose of this ride, other than an opportunity to sit down for 10 minutes. Next one. Don't go to this attraction unless you have little self-esteem or no sense of entertainment. It's more fun to watch the grass grow. It seems like they had plenty of material, and one day, when they were very bored, they said, "What do we do with this? Let's build the slowest, darkest, and most meaningless journey in the history of humanity. If you want to waste your time, this attraction is highly recommended." And finally, I went on this attraction to avoid standing alone like a fool while my hot, adventurous wife rode Space Mountain. It's like taking a slow ride through the most boring pamphlet imaginable. The ride's elevated track allowed me to plot out which bathroom was closest to the ride's exit.
They're not talking about People Mover.
They are talking about People Mover.
Is People Mover? Oh, my favorite. What?
Flipping tables. The microphone out the window. How dare you, sir? And I love how they're like, okay, no, my hot wife went on Space Mountain. What self-esteem issues? You know, I'm talking in tongues now.
You just want
understand.
You just want to just like shake these people. Like, what are you talking about? No. People Mover is a treasure. I feel like if you know the history of People Mover and you understand it and you understand the land side of it and why we miss our People Mover so much, then you would know that People Mover is a beloved attraction and just a gem of Magic Kingdom and of Walt Disney World, honestly.
She is the consistency. Does she break down a lot? Yes, she does.
Yes, she does.
What girly in this era does not? And what was the other thing? Like, I'm so flabbergasted. I'm so flabbergasted by all this. She is the glue holding Tomorrowland together, because there's nothing else in Tomorrowland right now.
Absolutely, except for Tron. But yes.
Except for Tron. And even then, it's on the outskirts, and you only can get on that if you have your virtual queue. That is the only way right now. Or your
lightning lane. Yep. I will forever be jealous of Walt Disney World for Cosmic Rewind and People Mover. So.
Yes, and it was such a vibe. Such a vibe. No.
It is such a vibe, and it's a long
ride. You do not
ride.
have self-esteem issues if you are going on People Mover. If anything, you are the creme de la creme. Okay.
Mm-hmm. If you get to go on that, then the best thing is if you do it during the day and in the nighttime twice.
Vibes.
Best time. Complete vibes. Well, thank you, Chris. We needed a little like vent session for these.
So, as part of our tips and tricks, Danielle is going through and scribbling down that all of these are wrong, and go on People Mover is number 10 as part of the countdown.
Right. Don't listen to anyone. Just do the People Mover.
Just go on People Mover. Oh my gosh, yes.
That was fun. Thank you, Chris. And I think it's a great segue into the countdown that we have for this episode. We are counting down, y'all, our top 10 tips and tricks for the Disney parks.
Absolutely.
And I'm so excited. I mean, it's kind of the bread and butter for me. I don't know about you, Danielle, but we like to think that we know a thing or two about the Disney parks. So happy to
Well,
get into it.
and it's so hard when it comes to these kind of topics of deciding, okay, what are going to be your top 10? Because
Mhm.
when people, I don't know, I might be the same for you, Megan, too. But when you have like first timers coming to Walt Disney World, they're like, what should you do? That's not just like a one word answer. That's going to
No.
be like a whole paragraph. We're going to have dissertations on all these different type of topics. So we're going to
Yes.
try to keep it at least cut down a little bit, but we might have to explain some of our answers for some of these.
Yeah,
And I know mine are
for
going to be
sure.
mostly focused around like Walt Disney World because that is my home. And Megan, I
Mhm.
assume yours is going to be more towards Disneyland.
I have some land ones, but they could be used for both, but I do have
Yes.
some land specific. Yeah. Hmm.
Yes. Yes.
So, but that's great. We have a little bit of both. So if you guys are planning a trip to either park soon, then hopefully these will help you out a little bit.
Yes.
Without further ado, Danielle, I believe I went last episode. I went first last episode. So why don't you go first for this one?
Yes. So my number 10, besides it being always go on the people mover, my number 10 is actually kind of salty. I was like, is this really something I want to talk about on this episode? And I decided yes. Yes, it is.
Sweet.
My number 10 is as you're deciding who is going to come on your trip with you, whether it be Disney World or Disneyland, you need to decide who is going to be the best for you. Don't bring your problematic family members on this trip because it will ruin it for the rest of your party. Just you do you and go with your gut feeling. It is okay to tell your aunt and uncle, no, you are not coming on this trip. You are allowed to say no.
It's a good point. Really good
my
point.
number 10.
It's the company that you have with you at Disney,
Yes.
Disney World, Disneyland that are kind of going to make or break the trip for sure. If you're going in a large group, which can be difficult no matter who you're with, honestly, because larger groups, there's always someone that wants to do something different and
Right.
bathroom breaks a ton, so that is a really, really good one and important for a vacation.
It got to the point where for my family in particular, when we kept coming down, we lived in Columbus, Ohio for a portion of my life, and we would make regular trips to Walt Disney World. We would not tell family. So
just go.
Just go, and you don't have to post about it on Instagram. That's great.
Yeah.
I know we live in this social media era, and me and Megan, we're posting every single time we're in the park, but that's our expectation. If you're going and you don't want the rest of the family to know, it's okay. You can post the photos later. Don't let people know that you're there. You enjoy, you take in the vibes. And I can't stress that enough again, you can say no to who is coming with you on this trip. Protect your peace is really what we're moving forward in 2024, right?
Exactly. Because as everyone knows, you're going to obviously be spending quite a bit of money doing this vacation, going on this trip. Disney's not cheap, so you want that to be worthwhile, and definitely the people that you have with you will just make or break the trip. So love that one, Danielle. That's a great point.
See, we're starting off salty. The game made me salty.
Salty but strong. Salty but strong. Yes. My number 10's a little more, I guess, a little more simple than that, and it is Disneyland focus. So I love, and people always overlook this because our trams go right from the structure. The buses come from Toy Story, and they go right to almost the front of the park, right? So right to the front of downtown Disney, almost to the promenade. And then you go ahead, right? You miss downtown Disney unless you want to walk from the structure through downtown Disney into the parks. And there is an option to take our one and only monorail. And I think it's such a cute entrance to the parks. Of course, if you want to go into DCA, that one won't be an option for you. It only goes to land. So if you have a reservation for Disneyland and, hey, you want to get a head start on the rides, because I do consider the monorail a ride for us.
It is.
Then go ahead, take the monorail. You can scan in right there and it'll drop you right off in Tomorrowland next to the Finding Nemo submarines. And you can just go right on Autopia, the Matterhorn. They're all right there. So that's a transportation system that I feel like people tend to overlook just because, again, our main transportation systems completely bypass the monorail. It's like
Right.
towards the Disneyland Hotel.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I always say, you know what? If you go ahead, walk from the structure, it's not that far of a walk, and then take the monorail in, and you're already well inside the park. So that's my
Ah,
number 10. Don't
that's a
forget about the
good one.
monorail. Thanks.
Don't forget about the monorail. And I feel like even when I was there at the Disneyland Hotel, one last times I was there, I
Mhm.
hated that I didn't utilize the monorail more to be
Yeah.
able to get
Yeah.
to and from, because like downtown Disney, it's cool, it's fine, but half of it's still under construction right now. You honestly can bypass most of it.
True. You don't need to walk through unless you have to go to
Right.
Sephora or something, like I do. But it's mostly, yeah, you can just bypass the whole thing. Again, a lot of it is under construction. It won't be ready until much later this year.
Mhm.
And it's cool because you get to see Disneyland from a different angle. You kind of get to see a little bit
Yes.
backstage, which is fun. And yeah, so and it's also, it's a ride for sure. You move at a pretty high
Right.
rate of speed through that thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly.
So there
That's
it
a
is.
good
There's
one.
number 10. Thank you. Thank you.
I like that. Yes.
Thanks.
For my number 9, I ended up going with basically knowing your priorities for how long you want to be at each park, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and this applies to Disney World and to Disneyland. If you are a Disneylander planning for Disney World, you cannot plan the same amount of days. If you are a
No.
Disney Worlder planning for Disneyland, you can plan the same amount of days, but you're gonna be running out of things to do possibly by day 4. So
Facts.
plan accordingly, of knowing that Disneyland, how many days would you suggest, like, max for Disneyland? 3, 4?
If it's within your realm, if you can do 3 days, I recommend 3 days.
Mhm.
I believe if you did DCA in 1 day, you could do everything. I think it is possible.
Right.
I always recommend doing 2 days at land just in case, because there's just so much within a small area. But yeah, so I recommend 3, maybe 4. 4 is kind of pushing it. 4, you'll like 100% get everything done and do things
That's
multiple
like
times.
if you have more dining reservations you want to do, if there's more food
Yeah.
related things. That was my issue last time, is I feel like I didn't eat enough of the food. So I
Yep.
wish I had an extra day just to knock out a breakfast, lunch, and a dinner.
Right. And
specifically
like a
food
nice
related.
dinner. Yeah, or a nice lunch at like Blue Bayou or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or
Right.
if you are a family or a group that needs downtime, like you need to go back to the hotel every day,
Yes.
you want an off day, then for sure 4 days. Yeah.
Right. Where here at Walt Disney World, I would say you need to plan for at least a week. So, or like 5 days.
5
is kind of
days.
the magic time. So you have a full day dedicated to each park and then a rest day in between, because you will be exhausted. I cannot stress to people enough the rest day. Like,
Yeah.
it will save
Rest-
your vacation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We did that in our 2014 trip. We needed the rest day. We needed to go to just hang out by the pool, walk around. I think we went to Disney Springs for shopping later on, which is also another thing. Disney Springs in itself will take some time if you actually want to do some
Yes.
shopping. So that could be part of the rest day. But yeah,
If you want to
100%.
practice walking your 5K, the distance from walking Cirque
Yeah.
du Soleil over towards Rainforest and back is the same length as walking a 5K.
That's so crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Disney World's so big, man.
So that's where my number 9 again is knowing how long to visit for whichever coast you're going to.
Yes, that is a great one. Yep, 100%. Okay, so my kind of goes along with that. My number 9, and especially for land over here, because right now is a big time for this, is be sure to check like the calendar, specifically the refurb calendar, because when people come
Yes.
to land, I mean, we had Space Mountain down for an extended period of time. Indiana Jones has been down a lot. Pirates of the Caribbean. We do have extended refurbishments on our attractions. We do a lot of maintenance on them. So I would definitely check for that, especially like there's a big one that was closed recently. And I think it might have been, it was Incredicoaster that was closed for, and Racers was closed for 2 weeks. So they do put that up on their calendars online. Not a lot of people check it. And also some like social media the influencers like to post about that. And post the calendars
But
up too, but
even then, usually by the time that one of our friends posts it, it's either the algorithm doesn't share it right away or he'll post
yeah,
it like 2 days afterwards. And you're just like, well,
exactly.
I would have liked to known that 48 hours ago.
Right. It's already closed. Right. So I would check that, and just to be sure that hopefully the ride, your favorite ride, is open when you get there,
Right.
or if you look well enough in advance, or they announce it well enough in advance, you can plan your trip around it so that you'll be there before it closes or after it reopens.
Or
So
you just got to listen to the Disney Countdown show so we can tell you that Haunted Mansion is closed for refurbishment and it's going to be a long
yes.
time. So don't plan on it right now.
Yes, if your favorite ride's Haunted Mansion, this is not the year for
This is
land
not
at
the
all.
year.
We will not even be having Haunted Mansion Holiday, which is really sad. So
Crazy.
I know. Yeah, so that's my next one, because I know a lot of people get disappointed when their favorite ride is down for like 2 weeks or a month.
See, that's why we just got to focus on food, everybody. Like, food is the way to go.
Yes, food. Yeah, exactly. Food will be your backup.
Yes. Well, mine actually kind of ties in with that same thing. Is
Oh, yay.
For my number 8, it is, y'all just go ahead and download the Disney Experience app, my Disney Experience app.
Yes, you have to have the app.
You
Same with
have to
Disneyland.
have it.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
am shocked, appalled, aghast by the amount of people here right now that are in the month of February, March, April, the spring season here at Walt Disney World, that there are not even just first timers, but people that haven't been to Disney World in a long time. Maybe it is pre-Panini that they're coming, and they're not realizing that you cannot function without the app. And you have to use the app for your virtual queues. You have to use your app. Don't walk around World Showcase from Frozen in Norway. Don't be going up and trying to see like, oh, what do you mean the line's 75 minutes? Well, let's go check out the rat ride over in France. So you do that half a mile walk all the way over to France, and you're like, oh my goodness, this wait time's 120 minutes. Well, let's just go back to Norway. No. Just check the app in advance. See if the ride's down, especially with how finicky some of these rides have been here recently. Don't save yourself the walking and the hassle. Just download the app. My Disney Experience is your friend. Let it help you.
Yes, exactly. Let it help you. If you want to use Genie, you can. The Genie is free. The Genie Plus costs money, but it's something that might be able to help you out, but at least you'll be able to see the wait times for the rides that are across World Showcase or at the back of Magic Kingdom. Yeah. Mobile order. Yes.
All that is holy. Mobile order is the way to go.
Yes, it is. Especially that's 100% inland over here. Like we have mobile order for everything. So.
Right. Like everything,
except for Tropical
like
Hideaway.
not to the same extent that we do here in World. Like we use it a lot, but like not to the same extent that Disneylanders do.
Yeah, we have it for the Dole Whip stand, so we're ready with the mobile order. Yeah, absolutely. So that's a big one, and I don't know why I didn't include that on my countdown. I thought that was kind of like, I'm glad that you included it, so I can kind of jump in and say, yes, this is for land too.
Exactly. And I feel like I wasn't going to include this also in my list either, because I was like, okay, is this list catering towards the first timers? Is this catering towards people that listen to us and they are seasoned professionals? And that's where I was like, no, I'm going to try to include a little bit of everything, because like my number 10, even where I'm like, you're allowed to say no, that's for the seasoned professionals that keep bringing those toxic family members every single year. I'm like, no, this is your year to say no, you don't have to bring them. Right.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, again, very glad that you included that. And just so you guys know, my Disney Experience is different than the Disneyland app. They are two separate apps.
They are.
Trust me, I have opened one at the other, and I was like, "What is going on?" And I mobile ordered something from I think Cosmic Rays. I mobile ordered something from Cosmic Rays so I could pick it up after I went on the People Mover, and I was on the People Mover, and I opened the app, and I'm like, "Where's my mobile order?" I was on Disneyland. I was checking the wrong app.
Keep them on separate parts of the iPhone page,
Yeah. No, mine are right next to each other, so it's great.
Oh.
They have different logos, so the castle is on Disneyland's, just in case you guys are wondering. Okay, great. Love that, Danielle. Okay, my number 8. Okay, my number 8. Speaking of food and restaurants, Walk-ups at Disneyland. Yes, you can get them. And there are certain places where it's a lot easier to do walk-ups, just in case you don't get that reservation 60 days in advance, which is not something that I included on my list, just so you guys know. But if you want to book something that's a little hard to get, do it 60 days in advance. They open up at 3 a.m., I think, something like that. Is walk-ups. So if you want to go to Oga's Cantina, you can pretty much do that. Like, no matter the day, it's possible. You just have to be in close proximity to the cantina in Galaxy's Edge. And just click the join walk-up list. Even if it says they're not taking them right now, just keep refreshing, because I guarantee you it will open up. Like, for us at least, if you got a party of like, I don't know, 6 or less, you can get into Oga's during the day. It might be like maybe a 30 to 40 minute wait, but just you can still do it. So if that one, and then Lamplight Lounge is also another walk up that I have used quite frequently. For that one, if you have a bigger party, it's a little bit hard to get into. But if you're just there on a date, you're there with someone, or maybe a party of 4 is kind of pushing it, but it is possible to get on the walk up list. However, for Lamplight, between 2 and 4 o'clock, it's a little tougher because they're switching from lunch to dinner. So I would do it before 2 or after 4 for dinner. But yeah, same with, it's a Carthay Circle. You just have to be in close proximity to the place, and then you click join walk-up list on your app, which you've already downloaded, of course, and they'll give you an estimated wait time, and they'll text you when your party is ready to be seated.
Yes. And I would say that works for the most part here at Walt Disney World also, but just read the fine print of what your walk-up includes, because sometimes you might, like, for example, Beaches and Cream over at Walt Disney World, which is over at the Yacht and Beach Club Resort, which is very popular, and reservations go very, very quickly. If you join the walk-up list, the walk-up list is only for sitting at the bar. There is no regular seating available. And people don't realize that. And so they join the walk-up list thinking that, oh yeah, we're going to be sat at a normal table with my 5-year-old that's going to be jumping on and off the bar stools. Yeah. So it just, knowing that in advance, read the fine print, and know what your walk-up is getting you for here at Walt Disney World. I know it's different in Disneyland, so just pay attention. Pay attention to the fine print.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Read the fine print for sure.
Yes.
So yeah, that was my...
Megan.
Thank you. Yeah, not a lot of people know about the walk-ups and think that if they don't get the reservation, then all hope is lost. But we do have walk-ups for every single sit-down restaurant, and there's ones that are easier to get than others. So Blue Bayou is tough. I will admit that's the toughest one to get in Disneyland.
Yes. That's a good one.
But it's possible. Thank you.
Well, so mine is a little more specific to me, honestly. And I think it's like I mentioned here earlier in this episode that I used to be a fairy godmother at the Bippity Boppity Boutiques. And I have been getting messages and DMs from all these people asking, how do you get a reservation at the boutique? And like, we tried 60 days out in advance. It wasn't working. Actually, this kind of ties in a lot with yours too, Megan. You just can't do the waitlist thing like what they do for the dining. Instead, you just have to go up to the podium or right there at the very front door, and you basically just have to ask in the beginning of the day, hey, we don't have a reservation. Are there any walk-ups available for some time later on today? And they can go through and they can actually see the system where they have cancellations, same day cancellations, and they will fill those same day cancellations with walk-ups. It's not guaranteed, especially during peak season, especially right now during cheerleader season. And the older sisters are in cheer and the younger sisters are getting dolled up like princesses. It's going to be really full right now. But that's going to be your best bet. So not all hope is lost. You just have to be flexible with it, or call for a same day appointment. You can try that. But from our reservation friends, the system has been updated, and whatever you're seeing online through the My Disney Experience app or through Disney.com is the exact same system that the reservation system is using. So don't bother calling and thinking that you're getting somebody at the boutique. You're not. You're getting somebody over at the call center in Tampa. Okay.
Yeah.
So and they are not going to connect you over to the fairy godmother over there. And if they do, that's a security breach. So no, they're not going to do that.
Nice.
Yes. So
Oh, I like it.
I know that was a little more boutique specific, and I think that's just because
Yes.
it has been a hot topic for me here recently. So
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that is great to know,
yes,
and especially for families. That's a pretty good tip.
yes, and
Love it.
until the Disney Springs location opens, don't bring your party of 12 little princesses to the castle. No, just don't do
Yeah.
it. Like 1 or 2, 3, absolutely fine. Your birthday party, don't do it. Like, we love you, but no. Wait until
When
the
is
Springs locations open and they can cater to that.
Do they have an opening date for that one yet?
No. Oh my
No?
goodness. It has been rumor after rumor after rumor of an ideal opening date of when the Disney Springs location would reopen. It's still been closed here for the past 4 years, since 2020. And
Oh my goodness.
they've recently gone through and they cleaned it. They fixed up a lot of the tiling that was broken. Inside there was like these little scuff areas where the little plastic shoes of the princesses would scuff over top of the tile and it would mess it up. So they fixed a lot of that. And we still know nothing, and it's really, really ticking off the fairies, I will say that. So
That's a little frustrating. Yeah.
it's just hilarious. But yes, so we still have no answer on that either.
Oh, fun. Fun.
Yep.
But
Crazy.
hopefully it's soon.
Hopefully soon. Yes.
Yay. Okay. Let's see. Number 7 for me is as specific to land. I'm going to go with the best air conditioning because, yes,
Ooh. Hot
Disneyland can get hot in the summer. The dry heat in Southern California is no joke. So do not sleep on Animation Academy, number 1, because there's a variety of things you can do in there. You got the Animation Academy, literally to go and draw your favorite Disney character. You can go see Turtle Talk with Crush, which is always hilarious. And we do have the Sorcerer's Workshop. Unfortunately, one of the best attractions, the Beast Library, is now closed. So you just have that front room. Oh, don't even get me started.
As
you just have that front room.
Over here, I'm Megan.
I know. No, trust me. I'm doing the exact same. But yeah, they still have that first room where you can go and draw some like, film strips if you want and do the little stop motion stuff. Or you can go meet Anna and Elsa, and I think sometimes Olaf in that one area, the Frozen meet and greet area.
Yes.
So, or you can just chill literally in the center of the room and watch the musical projections on the giant TV screens that come by, because they are beautiful. You got Lion King, Tangled, Frozen, different songs that come up. The Up Married Life song is always a good one.
I want to film a TikTok in there so bad. Like waiting until it's like closing and there's nobody else in there, and I just want to lay on the floor and use the audio from Lilo and Stitch and just turn to the camera and be like, leave me alone to die. I just want to be buried here. That's all I want.
That'd be a good one. Yeah, no, but exactly. Like, that's just a place where you can sit for a while and
just vibe and
just vibe.
It's beautiful.
Take in the AC. Yes, absolutely. So that one's great. And we also, of course, love Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, because yes, the show itself is a classic. It's been there since the 50s or 60s. And obviously it's been updated quite a few times, but they also have the lobby area where you can sit and watch. Right now, I think they still have the new D100 short playing. Yeah, Once Upon a Studio, with a bunch of different Haunted Mansion things in there right now. You have live action stuff, also like little memorabilia things.
Animation sketches from like original movies right now, all featuring the history of the Disney company is all still in there, I believe.
Yeah, in that first room.
So
and then in the second room, it's great. And then of course in the second room you have the scale model of the Capitol building, which is kind of cool. Yes. So it's, there's places in Land and DCA to take your breaks, and those are my favorites. And you're definitely going to need them in the summer, because I don't think Tiana's is going to be open over here by our summer. Grizzly will be open, but not Tiana's. So there's only one water ride.
Go get yourself some culture by going and sitting and listening to Abraham Lincoln also. I think that I'm 100% an advocate for that.
Same. Me too. Sometimes I'll just go watch it just to take a 15-20 minute break. And it's great.
Salute to all nations, but mostly America.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Well, y'all, thank
Okay.
you again for getting this far into the episode. We really, really appreciate it. And actually, before I give you our number 6 of our top tips and tricks, we are going to be bringing in somebody else to give us her opinion on some tips and tricks also. And she is a Disneyland regular, and she comes over here to Disney World also. But it's going to be Lily Davis, dear and darling, known on her social medias. And she is one of our friends, the queen of Disney bounding.
Yes, she is. She's
Oh,
amazing. We love Lily.
She is amazing, and I can't wait to pick her brain on a couple things in the next episode. So stay tuned for that. She will be joining us for the next episode as we count down our 5 through 1. And so y'all, just kind of letting you know, pay attention. It's gonna be really cool, and
it's gonna be fun.
Our number 6 option, till we see Lily next episode. Our number 6, though, this one, it should be pretty basic for Disney World, right? You would think this would be a basic reminder, is don't let the rain stop you whenever you come and visit Disney World.
Yeah.
Don't let it literally rain on your parade. There's always something else you can do. You only have to worry if there's lightning in the area. Be safe if there's lightning. We are the lightning capital of the world. But if it is just raining a little bit, there are so many people here. We had our freak rainstorms kind of at the same time that you were having them over in California. But we were having our freak rainstorms that don't usually happen here in Disney World just a couple weeks ago. And the amount of people that were just like, they shut down. They could not function or do anything else. I'm like, do y'all not have rain where you live? Like, do you not function in your normal everyday lives if it rains? You have to treat it the same here in Florida when you're here at Walt Disney World. Get that poncho, get that umbrella. I highly suggest just a regular umbrella. Don't do the poncho. That's too sweaty, too many layers. And just keep trekking on. It's all gonna be good. There's a hair dryer back in the hotel room. You'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Just you might get a little wet. Well, water never hurt anybody.
What's the audio from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, you afraid
are
to
you
get
mad?
wet?
Ha! Afraid to get a little wet.
I love that one. I've used that multiple times.
Yes.
It's hilarious. But yes, that's so true. And I appreciate the fact that a lot of things, and especially queues, are indoors at Disney World. That was definitely planned for in that Florida atmosphere. For us at land, we have a lot more open air stuff. So in terms of clothing and supplies that you bring with you, those are necessary for the rain. Like the shoes, the waterproof shoes, the umbrellas. You can bring a poncho to land, that's fine. But once you go inside, it's going to get everything wet. So you got to keep that in mind.
Well, and I feel like for y'all, a poncho makes more sense in Disneyland than it does here because you also aren't dealing with the same humidity, even though it's raining.
Correct. It's mostly still dry. There is humidity, but it's not nowhere near like Florida's.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're wearing a poncho in Florida, it is helping protect the outside of you, but you're still building up so much humidity and sweat underneath it that you're still wet. It doesn't matter. So,
true. You're sweating and wet.
Yes. It just doesn't work well.
Yeah. Good one, Danielle. I love that. And same for land. The rain is actually it's great for land. If you don't mind it, I just go to the parks.
Hey,
do it because the crowds
I saw some of y'all in Disneyland while it was downpouring here this a couple weeks ago, and y'all were loving it. If you were prepared, you were loving it.
It's a good time. Oh yeah. Yup. All right. Well, my number 6 is probably I think this is a common one, but it's, as we know, the food at Disneyland can be, a little on the higher end and a little bit more, I guess, ridiculous if it's outside the park. If it was outside the parks, you'd be like, wow, this is expensive, but it's Disney, so you don't mind. But I say bring your snacks, bring your little packs of goldfish, your chips, your bars, anything you want with you that's going to tide you over so you don't have to rely on like the stands with some of the fruit or pickles that they have, because y'all, a pickle is $5. That is a treat if I've ever seen one. Like for me, I do one pickle every month, and that's my treat. So I just, bring your little snacks. They're allowed inside the parks. You can take them in, little Ziploc baggies, and just enjoy. So, you can just save just a little bit of money on some of the snacks that they have there. Of course, you feel free to grab your churro or your pretzel, whatever you want, but it does help.
As a Disney Worlder, where our snacks aren't good, I was gonna to piggy off of that. If you are regular to Disneylander, then yeah, absolutely. No, pack your snacks. If you're a Disney Worlder, financially prepare yourself to be able to buy said snacks at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Because the pickle vibes. True. Like we said in the
we got
episode,
a lot of
It's
snacks.
not the same.
True. We do have the really good like small items for sure. Yes. We got beignets in the parks that are good. We have the stands have the fruit, the pickles, pretzels and hummus are part of our stands too. So stuff like that, smoothies, the cookies now at Harbor Galley, which are actually pretty decently priced. But yeah, I would say if you have little ones who like to munch, which is my mom did this all the time when we were kids. Yes. She would bring all our favorite snacks. So I do still recommend that. And I still to this day bring like protein bars with me just because, sometimes you can't get protein bars at land.
Yes.
Or in the parks.
Oh, that's interesting, actually.
Yeah, they don't have them. So, or Cliff Bars. Yeah.
Okay. So while Megan is also talking about this, make sure you're just reading. If you do decide to bring a travel pack with you, if you want to bring like a cooler for any of your drinks, just be aware that there are some rules when it comes to ice and what can be inside the coolers for Disney World and for Disneyland. You just have to go on Disney's security page, I believe, or know before you go. There are some rules of like, it can't be certain kind of loose ice because they have to be able to dig through to be able to touch the bottom, I think. So it has to be like dry ice packs, stuff like that. So just
one of those blue ones.
Aware.
Yeah.
Yes, before you go into all that. But yeah, no, totally. A snack idea. That's legit, Megan. That's legit.
Thanks. Yeah. So yeah, that was my number 6. And of course we got more coming your way next week. Yes. And I did save the best for last, so don't worry.
Did you really? See, I don't know. I feel like when we talk about these kind of topics, I get very sassy. I try not to be too sassy about these things.
It's okay. You got your own views, you got your own opinions, and that's fine. You're entitled to them. Oh yeah.
And I'm afraid that people were going to start listening to this episode and be like, "Oh, well, I thought she was going to give more like tricks or like hidden details or something like that." I'm like, no. If you can't get the basics down, I ain't gonna give you the random Disney things. Okay, we got to get the basics down first.
That's also true. We have to get the general tips for planning before we get into like the nitty gritty. Yes, the things that are like really secret or hidden.
Right. I don't think some of our social media friends talk about those enough. And that's why me and Megan are really trying to cover those topics here in the podcast today.
Right. Or it's something that like people would be mad at us for sharing on our socials. Do you know what I mean? Like there's certain things they're like, no, I don't want people knowing about that because that's our thing. Or that's the, the secret tip that people don't want getting out there, which I'm cautious about doing those videos.
Oh yeah. I mean, me and Megan, we'll talk about a lot of like hidden secrets or hidden tips, but we will gatekeep some things. I will not tell y'all where my favorite bathroom on Disney World property is. That is private information. I am not going to share that with the rest of y'all. Okay.
Same for land. Yeah. That's ours to know.
Exactly. Yeah. But we will share some stuff with you, but we will not share everything with you. So so sorry about that, y'all. Just letting you know.
You're gonna have to find it on your own. Some things you gotta discover on your own. So.
And it all boils down to opinion, just like our list and our top 10s. You might not agree. You might agree. And let us know when you're going through and you're doing those rate and reviews. We do have polls also in the comment areas on Spotify. Let us know if you agree with our list or if you are part of the Patreon. Let us know on Discord. Oh yeah, Danielle or Megan popping off on number 8. Whatever. Let us know. We love those conversations and we like building that. So again, speaking of the Discord,
yes,
don't forget you can also join our Patreon family. Be looking out for those tiers here very, very soon, and more information to come on that also. Make sure you're subscribed. You can subscribe everywhere to the podcast, on Apple, on Spotify if you don't want to join our Patreon, but I think we're pretty cool over there too.
We
And
are. Yeah.
you also can, don't forget, you also can send us an email with either your reviews or your fan mail over at DisneyCountdownShow@gmail, or just DM us over on the Instagrams also.
Yeah, you can suggest lists to us because we always love getting ideas for our future countdown lists. So
And
please
we
email
have
or
kind of
DM.
sketched out of what we might be doing, and then
Mm-hmm.
me, Megan, and our producer Danny, we were actually just talking before this episode, and we're like, well, what if we change this up and we do something else instead? So we're always changing our minds before we
Yeah.
record stuff. So yeah, let us know. Pop off in the comments or in our DMs.
Yeah, yeah. But we do have a very fun episode coming up next week with Lily Davis from Dear and Darling. She is amazing. So she will be counting down along with us her top 5 Disney parks, tips, and tricks. So we're very excited to have her on next week. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to chat with her. Yes.
It's just going to be great. Yes. So hopefully you'll join us. But until then, have a very magical day.
And night night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight.